In the middle of a brutal winter, when the world was frozen and silent, love quietly began to bloom. It was one of the coldest nights I can remember. The streets were deserted, the air sharp and heavy with frost. And then I saw them. A mother dog curled tightly around her tiny puppy, both trembling violently against the unforgiving wind. They had no shelter, no food, nothing but each other. The mother's eyes met mine, tired, sunken, but still holding a fragile spark of hope. Something inside me tightened. I couldn't walk away. That night, my colleagues and I opened an old warehouse nearby. We laid down blankets and pillows, left bowls of water and food, and whispered small prayers into the bitter air. All we could do was hope they'd still be alive when morning came. At dawn, I ran back. My heart pounded as I pushed the warehouse door open, and there they were, huddled together on the blankets, alive. Relief washed over me like sunlight after a storm. The mama dog looked up, cautious but calm. When I knelt beside her, she didn't run. She just watched, quietly, as if deciding whether she could trust me. I reached out a hand. After a moment, she placed her paw gently on my palm. That one simple gesture sealed it. She was mine. I named her Nixi. At first, Nixi was timid. Years of surviving the streets had taught her to stay on guard. Every sound made her flinch. Every movement sent her eyes darting around. But there was something about her, something gentle beneath the fear. Whenever I sat quietly near her, she would inch a little closer. When I offered food, she'd hesitate, sniffing the air, then take it slowly, her eyes never leaving mine.
No, Nixi, you're my first. Come on.
Days passed, and little by little her walls began to fall. One evening, as I sat on the floor reading, I felt a soft weight beside me. Nixi had walked over, curled up against my leg, and rested her head on my lap. That quiet moment felt like magic, a small act of trust, but to me, it was everything. Over the next weeks, Nixi began to change. The haunted look in her eyes faded. Her tail, once stiff with fear, began to wag freely. Every morning, she'd nuzzle her nose against my neck to wake me. Every evening, she'd follow me from room to room, as if afraid to miss even a second together. She started to greet me at the door with little barks and happy jumps, her paws tapping like music on the floor. Her love was quiet, but steady, like warmth that never fades. There was no doubt anymore. She had chosen me as much as I had chosen her. Her puppy soon found a home with a kind young couple. When they came to meet him, Nixi watched from the doorway, ears forward, eyes soft. It was as if she understood that her baby was safe, that she didn't have to worry anymore. That night, for the first time, she slept deeply. No twitching, no shivering, just peaceful rest. And when she woke, she seemed lighter, freer. We began taking trips to the beach. The first time her paws touched the sand, she froze for a moment, then broke into a sprint. Her tail wagged wildly, her ears flapped in the wind, and her joy was pure and contagious. She chased the waves, barked at seagulls, and made friends with strangers. The ocean became her playground, and I watched her bloom under the open sky, finally free from fear. Nixi developed the sweetest little habits. Whenever she wanted affection, she would walk up and gently rest her paws on my lap, looking up with those soft, pleading eyes that no one could resist. If I ignored her too long, she'd climb halfway onto me, pressing her head under my chin, silently demanding hugs. And of course, I always gave in. Her favorite place was in my arms, her head tucked beneath my chin, breathing slow and steady.
Where are you? Nixi, where? Okay, I just want to make sure where you were, that's all.
In those moments, I could feel it. She finally knew she was safe. Never in my life did I imagine that a scared, freezing dog from the streets would become the heart of my home. But Nixi did. She's my best friend now. She greets me with joy. She comforts me when I'm down. And she makes every day brighter just by being there. Her journey taught me something profound, that love doesn't need grand gestures. Sometimes it just needs patience, warmth, and a quiet place to rest. Nixi's story isn't just about survival. It's about transformation. It's about second chances, trust, and the healing power of compassion. She showed me that even the smallest kindness, a blanket on a cold night, a gentle hand, a little patience, can change a life forever.
Look what Mom bought you. You want it? Okay, ready? Here you go. That's for you. Go here. Here, Mama, eat it. Grab it. It's for you. Okay, you want to put it on the floor. That's what you wanted. Okay.
For every dog still out there in the cold, Nixi's story carries a message. You matter. You are seen. You are worth saving. She reminds us that love can find us anywhere, even on the coldest nights in the unlikeliest places. So if Nixi's story touched your heart, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Pass it along to someone who needs a reminder of what kindness can do. Every share helps raise awareness for animals still waiting for their miracle. And if you've ever rescued or been rescued by a furry friend, tell us your story in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to open their heart. Because together, we can create a world where no dog has to shiver alone in the dark again. And maybe, just maybe, we'll all remember that sometimes the ones we rescue end up rescuing us right back.
Did you do this? Was this you? Nixi? Nixi, did you eat this? I was gone for 2 seconds. Nixi, look at me. Nixi, look at me. I was gone for 2 seconds. That's not right. That's not nice. And I gave you most of it.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.
Nixi. Nixi. Where are you, Nixi? Nixi, where are you? Nixi, where? Okay, I just want to make sure where you were, that's all.